Hola, it's Jessica here, and I'm going to be talking lactose-free milk. I know it seems kind of weird, but it is something that I am very aware of and have to deal with on a daily basis and have had to deal with it for a while now. And I'm going to explain to you how I'm able to save 40% off of my lactose-free milk. Disclaimer, I'm not a scientist, not a math whiz, not a doctor. So please talk to the appropriate people and consult your doctor if this is an issue for you and you want to learn more about it. So lactose is just a type of sugar that is found in dairy. Lactose-free milk actually means that they have put something in the milk that has broken down that lactose sugar so that someone that is lactose intolerant can actually absorb it without getting sick. And I want to say, because this is a hard concept for my own father to understand, is 1% fat-free, 2% milk, organic milk are not lactose-free milk. They are not. They are regular milk. They're just different fat percentage stuff. So, and organic is like how they feed the cows and whatnot. The carton, the gallon, specifically has to say lactose-free milk. Being lactose intolerant is actually a very common issue, and there are different degrees on intensity as far as when it comes to your reaction to that lactose sugar. I just want to kind of explain what is happening to people that are lactose intolerant. So what's happening is that when someone that is lactose intolerant ingests dairy, that sugar called lactose, it's hard for them to break down. So when your body cannot digest that sugar, it fights it and then flushes it out. And there's different degrees of intensity. I don't want to get like gross on here, but it is something that happens naturally to your body. It's not like you're doing this on purpose. And there's like the mild where you get maybe a little gassy, maybe a little just uncomfortable in the stomach area. And then there's those that are very intense and it like feels like their insides are just being twisted and everything is coming out of them. And it's very painful. My reaction to dairy does depend on how the dairy is processed. So like cheese is a form, ice cream's a form, milk's a form. There's a ton of other forms out there. So depending on how it is, I react more severely to one versus the other. So that's something you might want to ask your doctor about, how this came about for you. But I know for me it was genetic, and I believe most commonly it is a genetic deficiency. So through the years I have tried all the options, even tried coconut milk. On my very short list of things that I hate, coconut is one of them, and I even tried coconut milk. That didn't work. So I had to find a milk alternative, and that was actually real milk. So lactose-free milk is real milk. They just put the chemical in there to break down that lactose sugar. A few years ago, I actually came across this blog from Tammy'sRecipes.com, and it was her entry on how she makes lactose-free milk. But I guess in the moment I really didn't believe it, and I just forgot about it. So now that I realized how much I've been spending on lactose-free milk is insane, and I needed an option. So thank God I found that blog again, and I did implement what she said, and I'll put the link below because she does a great job. She did this whole experiment with her hubby, and they figured this out, and they have lactose-free milk. Now I do, thanks to her. So now I'm going to buy regular gallon milk. Regular milk, nothing special. I just happen to enjoy 1% milk. So, but it is regular normal milk, nothing weird about it. And then you're gonna need lactose drops. I ordered mine through Amazon, and I'll put the link below for you. I'll also put the link below for you through Ebates. So go through ebates.com with the link. If you're not signed up, it's free. Just use the link. You get $10 off your first purchase. Order this. Do not pay shipping. I bundled mine with something else I ordered, so I'm not going to pay shipping for these things. The drops come in a dark glass container. You want to keep the lid on tight. You also want to keep this in a dark, cool, dry place. So probably where you keep your medication. So take the lid off of your milk, take the lid off of your drops. Then you're going to squeeze in 40 of your lactose drops into the milk. You have to just count them as you're squeezing them, and I'll show you right here because I might not have a good video on that. You literally just have to count them as they're coming out. 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. 40. So you need 40 in your milk, and then put the tops back on both. Get your milk, which you don't have to do, but I like to do, is just turn it around and then give it a little shake. Put it back in your refrigerator at least 24 hours according to the bottle. I leave mine for 48 hours. The longer that the lactose drops sit in the milk, the better, and the more that they can break down the lactose sugars so that you can easily ingest it. Don't get scared. I'm going to start in on the math. I do want to do this part to prove to you how I'm calculating and how I'm able to save $170, 40% off of my lactose-free milk by making it myself. So a half-gallon carton of milk is $3.44. Multiply that by 2 because that's going to give me a gallon. 2 half-carton gallons are going to give me a gallon. So that's $6.88 per gallon. In my house, we buy 2 to 3 cartons each week. So I'm just going to take the average of that and say that we buy 2.5 cartons of lactose-free milk. Okay, so now you're going to multiply 2.5 cartons by 0.5. 0.5 is the same as a half of a gallon, so it's 0.5 gallons. And that is going to give you 1.25 gallons consumed by my household each week on average. So multiply 1.25 gallons per week times 52 weeks in a year, and that gives me 65 gallons of milk consumed per year in my household. I know, that's a lot. But hold on to those numbers. Take your cost of lactose-free milk, which is $3.44. Now you're going to multiply that by the average of 2.5 cartons consumed each week, and that gives you $8.60 is how much you spend on average on milk per week. So multiply $8.60 by 52 weeks for the year, and that gives you a grand total of $447.20 is spent on lactose-free milk each year. So that is an insane number. If you buy the name brand, that number is like $500 a year. You're spending an extra $50 just because it is a brand name. Next, we're going to find out the cost of regular gallon milk per year without yet having factored in the cost of the lactose drops. So I'm going to be purchasing regular milk. I'm going to be purchasing the Colorado milk, which is only $1.99. So if you take $1.99 and you multiply that by 65 gallons on average we consume per year, that gives you $129.35. So now you have to start to figure out how many drops you're going to need out of each bottle to produce how many gallons. So your first math I actually got off of Amazon, the serving size and approximate serving per container, and it's 5 drops per pint. So that means that you need to put 5 drops in a pint of milk to treat it so that it'll become lactose-free milk. Unfortunately, we're dealing with gallons, so now you have to convert pints to gallons. There's 8 pints in a gallon. So you have 8 pints, 1 gallon, you need 5 drops per pint. So all you have to do is multiply 8 times 5, and that gives you 40 drops. So you're going to have to use 40 drops per gallon to treat a gallon of milk to become lactose-free milk. So the bottle says that there's about 72 servings in each bottle. So you have to multiply 72 servings by 5 drops per serving, and that gives you 375 drops per bottle. So take the 375 drops per bottle and divide that by the 40 drops you're going to need per gallon. And that gives you how many gallons of milk you can treat with 1 bottle of lactose drops. So your number is 9.375 gallons. So out of each bottle of lactose drops, you can treat 9 gallons of milk. So on average, my household will be consuming 65 gallons of milk each year. So I need to divide that by 9.375 gallons of treated milk per bottle. And that gives me 6.88 bottles that I need to purchase to treat 65 gallons of milk each year. Each bottle is going to cost me $19.95. I'm not spending any more than that because I'm not paying for shipping. So now you have to multiply $19.95 by 7 bottles for the year, and that's going to give you $139.65. So you're going to have to spend $139.65 to purchase 7 bottles of lactose drops. It will cost you $139.65 to purchase 7 bottles for the year of lactose drops, and it's going to cost you $129.35 to purchase 65 gallons of milk for the year on average. So your total spent on making your own lactose-free milk is $268.97. Total cost to purchase store-brand lactose-free milk is $447.20. Subtract the cost of you making it yourself, which is $268.97, and you're going to save $178.03 per year for you making it yourself. It's a big deal. I mean, it's crazy and it's well worth it. That is 40% savings on milk. So just from me doing some research and experimenting and crunching the numbers, I was able to bring my milk budget for my family down 40%. That's awesome. So this really works, and you really can see how easy this is to make. I hope this inspires you to look at your budget a little bit differently. And God bless. Let me know if you have any more questions. And remember, I'm not a math whiz, so be nice if I messed up on something.